chase towards the championship for the Pizza Hut X Series is on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get ready for our first race of the chase under the lights at Chicagoland. 41 laps of racing here this evening. 12 drivers last week, well, actually I should say 2 weeks ago at Kentucky, locked themselves into this season's chase for the championship, where we are guaranteed a brand new champion due to the fact that defending champion Benny Watson was unable to race his way into this season's chase. So 12 drivers guaranteed to be a new Pizza Hut X Series champ, and the only time will tell who it will be, as we have 7 races in the Pizza Hut X Series. We've got 12 drivers. They will battle for 3 races. Those 3 races are going to be as follows: tonight at Chicagoland, Dodge Motordome, which will be next week, and then the following week at Indianapolis. Then we will be whittling it down from 12 drivers to the Elite 8. They will then battle for another 3 races, which will be the dirt track of Oswego, the restrictor plate track of Zen-Joltis, and the penultimate race at Chicago, or make that Talladega, I should say. And that will then whittle us down to the final 4, which will battle for the championship at the season finale at Auto Club Speedway. Well, you'll be able to tell the chasers apart from the non-chasers. Well, take a look at our front row. On the pole position, Tony Green, you will notice that the banner above his windshield that says Xfinity is black, but to his outside is James Shelley, who is the highest starting chaser here this evening. You'll notice his Xfinity banner is red. All the chasers running red Xfinity banners, red spoilers, and red splitters. That's how you'll be able to tell them apart from the drivers that are not in the chase for the championship. Without further ado, let's go down trackside and get the command to fire them up.
Drivers, start your engines!
So 41 laps of racing, and the interesting thing about Chicagoland is, if you didn't tune into our Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race last night, we had 3 cautions, but in total we really had a total of 5 wrecks. The last 2 wrecks that took place were spins on the back straightaway, and they did not bring out a yellow flag. So these drivers hopefully will be keeping mindful that, well, this is a really big wreck. NNSCRA officials not feeling it's worthy of throwing a caution flag out here at Chicagoland Raceway. Coming to this race, obviously the points were reformatted due to the chase for the championship standings being official after the checker flag waved at Kentucky. So coming into this race, 4 drivers are tied for the number 1 seed: Elijah Gilbert, James Qualls, Ace Garcia, and Joshua Osborne, who have all been to victory lane twice this season. And then the other drivers, the other 8, are all tied with 1,003 points apiece, 3 points back from those 4 I mentioned: Eli Bright, Jesse Turner, Cole Deaver, James Shelley, Jordan Lopez, Christian Merrick Jr., Colby Jackson, and Charlie Buxton. Looks like everybody is good to go here on the start. We have a total of 4 chasers starting up inside the top 10, make that 5. Shelley in 2nd, 5th place Christian Merrick Jr., 6th place Ace Garcia, 7th place Elijah Gilbert, and 10th place Colby Jackson, who went to victory lane our last time out at Kentucky. Green flag is out. The chase for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship is on. 41 laps of racing, so this is going to be split into 3 stages, obviously. The 3 stages are going to be 15, 15, and 11, and those stage points could be important, and there goes a chaser just like that. Christian Merrick Jr., and he saved it. Up into James Richardson, but he saved it. Elijah Gilbert's down on the apron. Hopefully they'll let him up, and that hopefully won't cause a wreck. It doesn't. We're under caution, but man, they did a heck of a job saving it. And Tony Green will lead us under our first caution. Look at that. Everybody's still going. Man, that was a heck of a save right there by Christian Merrick Jr. I don't know if he moved up and blocked the car to his outside, which I believe at the time was James Richardson. Somehow he got the car righted again. There's some left side damage on the 19 of Michael Haas. I don't know if he was involved in that incident in some way, but man, we got away with one right there. And Christian Merrick Jr., talk about a save of the century. He's still in 7th place after that. And Michael Haas is coming to pit road. So yeah, you can see that visible damage. James Richardson is in as well. And what a job by everybody as well to allow Elijah Gilbert to come back up onto the racetrack. He lost a ton of spots to Elijah, but Better than having a wrecked race car, Daniel Voiles in the 26 is also coming to pit road, it appears. So let's take a look and see what put us under the caution for the first time tonight. Like I said, we dodged a bullet. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Alright, let's watch this off turn 2. 3 wide. Chaser on the bottom and Christian Merrick Jr. They got Michael Haas and James Richardson to the outside. And they get really tight coming off the corner. And yeah, Merrick Jr. just kind of ran Michael Haas out of room, his teammate. They go up there into James Richardson. Look at there, you see where some contact was made with Elijah Gilbert. His car shoots down to the grass. Now right there, Richardson almost kind of helps the 20 to right itself. And he's able to keep going. Now we're going to jump to the 98 of Elijah Gilbert, because watch this. This could have very well been Gilbert not willing to lift, driving at full throttle into turn 3, coming up, sweeping up, and taking out a number of drivers, including himself. Watch here as he's going to try and come back onto the racetrack. They're 4 wide for a time there. That's 3 chasers 4 wide with Osborne and Colby Jackson as well as Elijah Gilbert. But you see Gilbert smart, keeps it down on the apron. Everybody gives him a little bit of room to be able to have 2 tires up on the racing surface, which keeps the car from spinning out on the apron. Ryan Brommer almost runs him out of room there, but he's able to get around. And there you see they're all able to make it around the 98, give him enough room so he's able to recover the race car. And I'm telling you what, folks, that could have been a huge, huge wreck going down there into that turn 3 vicinity. And we got away with one for sure here tonight at Chicagoland. So, as we stated, 3 drivers came to pit road under that caution flag. Michael Haas, James Richardson, obviously involved in that incident with a little bit of damage. And so too did the 26 of Daniel Voiles. All 3 cars have returned back to the racetrack. However, that does not mean that all 42 cars will be taking the green flag for this restart. 1 driver is out of the race, and that is the 99 of Ralph Mason, who's going to be filling in that 99 for the remainder of the season due to the fact Seth Cole did not make the change for the championship. Tough break there for Ralph in what I believe is only his 4th start of the season. He's had some really good runs in the last couple of starts he made for Backmarker Motorsports, but out of the race, a gearbox issue for him puts him behind the wall. Tony Green will lead us back here for the green flag over James Shelley. Nicholas Romero is in 3rd with John Gilbert and Christian Merrick Jr. in the top 5. Shelley to the inside. He wants to get that valuable bonus point. Maybe get out in front and be the leader at the completion of this first stage, which we are about 5.5 laps away from completing. Nicholas Romero so close to making it into the chase. There were a lot of drivers that were really close to making it into the chase. If they had just gotten a win, they probably would have been in. Drivers like Benny Watson, PJ Williams, Jonathan Zorlin, who almost went to victory lane 2 weeks ago at Kentucky, but not a whole lot of help from his teammate James Shelley, who we see battling here for the lead. So Jonathan Zorlin missed out. Tony Green just barely missing out. Nicholas Romero, Carson Gum. They had all just had a trip to victory lane last time out at Kentucky. They would also be running around here at Chicagoland with the red Chase banners on their windshields. Tony Green out in front, and he is opening the gap a bit here as James Shelley now in 2nd. Battle is on for 3rd, and oh my goodness, Ace Garcia. I don't know what he was trying to do, but the apron is not a lane here, and that just lost him a ton of ground. He was running in 5th last time by. I think he lost at least 1 spot to John Gilbert in the 22, and now Kyle Lynch hounding him for that 7th position. Actually, that would be for 6th place, they're telling me. As up front, got a battle between a couple of drivers that were battling back at Kentucky. Colby Jackson going to victory lane for the first time in his Pizza Hut X Series career at Kentucky, and it was good enough to get him into the chase for the championship. So a shot clock cheese there for him, and the caution is out for the 2nd time here tonight. This battle between these two is actually maybe going to be for some stage points of who's going to finish 2nd and get 9 points, who's going to finish 3rd and get 8 points, and it will be Colby Jackson. Looks like he will be the highest finishing chaser in our first stage of the chase for the championship. Tony Green, though, looks like under caution, he will end up winning the first stage and get himself 10 valuable bonus points. Smoke lingering on the back straightaway. The back straightaway has been the trouble spot really all weekend long. It was the trouble spot in last night's Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race, and so far it is the scene of our 2 cautions tonight. And it looks like the incident may have also made its way up into the turn 3 vicinity. Chicagoland is involved. Let's see if any of our chasers were in it. That, I believe, is... I think that's James Richardson we're looking at. Paul Minnick, Ryan Brommer, Matthew Daly as the leaders are coming to pit road. And William Brock also involved. Doesn't look like any of our chase drivers may have gotten any piece of this. Now, there are some cars that are damaged in the back there as well. I see Stuart Grattan, Alexander Rowe with damage. And there's also some damage on Elijah Gilbert's 98, along with his teammate, the defending champion of this series, Benny Watson. So we do have at least one driver coming down pit road, one chaser, that does have damage on his machine. Colby Jackson leaving the pit lane. Let's see if he can beat out Tony Green, or will Green be able to beat everyone off of pit road? Going on left side, so here comes the 33 there on the left side of your screen. This might be a drag race here off pit road, and no, it won't even be a drag race. Colby Jackson is going to win the race off the pit lane. And we're only on lap 11, which that means that this next time around is the completion. Oh, no, it's not even the completion. I'm sorry. Lap 15 is the completion, so we may actually get back green. But Colby Jackson trying to get himself 10 valuable stage points, which would count in the chase for the championship, as he wins the battle off of pit road. So this may be a very interesting restart if we restart with about maybe 2, maybe even 1 lap to go in our first stage race. Let's go back, take a look at a replay. What happened? Looks like a big wreck, bringing out this second caution of the day. Battle somewhere mid-pack between a couple of non-chasers. Ryan Brommer on the inside, Pichu London in the middle. And Brommer just runs London out of room. Both cars, violent hit into the outside wall. There you see the 98 of Elijah Gilbert getting involved. Noah Ponser in the 28 gets a piece of it. There's Stuart Grattan involved. Paul Minnick's going to get clipped by Elijah Gilbert. He goes spinning around. And then watch the one car. The one car is going to get another shot right here from Alexander Rowe. That's going to flip. Well, I thought it was going to flip his car over, but it doesn't. Carson Gum does a nice job getting through this wreck. Look at the 88 still upside down, spinning like a top. There's the contact with William Brock, and that sends him straight up into Paul Minnick. And then James Richardson also hard lick into that 88 as well. Nick Johnson spun around, and he's almost going to get hit by the 19 of Michael Haas. Daniel Voiles might have gotten a piece. Look at the 6 car. Holy cow. I mean, watch Richardson after he hits the 88. Oh my goodness, what a violent wreck. Let's watch this again. 88 is spinning, hits Richardson, and then Richardson's car is going to find the grass, and it's just going to start barrel rolling. The grass just grabs that 6 car, starts flipping him around. More contact there you see for Daniel Voiles and Pichu London, and that 6 car goes for a wild, wild ride. And one car that really took a really violent hit as well was the 62 of William Brock. We're going to look at him in just a minute. Watch his telemetry. The whole front end of that car is gone. And it might have been his front end that flew up there into the catch fence. Now watch this. He's going to make contact with the 88 car right here. And watch how it changes his direction, directly T-boning the 1. There's the contact. It shoots him straight up into Paul Minnick. And that was indeed the entire front bumper of the 62 you see flying there in the air, coming back down to rest almost right beside Jordan Lopez's car. Lopez and Cole Deaver, a couple of chasers, do a nice job getting through this wreck. But what a number of violent hits, a wild ride. You can still see the 6 car flipping and barrel rolling there. Richardson, Minnick, Brommer, Brock, London, they all took violent shots here tonight at Chicagoland. Green flag has just come back out. We have 2 laps to go here in our first stage race, and Colby Jackson trying to get those 10 valuable bonus points. Ace Garcia restarted right behind him in second, but now Nicholas Romero moves by and takes that position. Drivers out of the race after that incident, though. One of them is a chase driver, Elijah Gilbert. So a driver who came in with 2 wins, tied for the number 1 seed, out of the race in 33rd, and the caution's out again. Also out of the race, the cars of Benny Watson, Nick Johnson. Matthew Daly was taking his car to the garage area. Also William Brock, Pichu London, Ryan Brommer, Paul Minnick, and James Richardson after that incident. And we may have more drivers, as looks like another incident this time on the back straightaway off of turn number 2. And this will seal the deal for Colby Jackson of getting 10 valuable bonus points, as he will win our first stage race of, or first stage segment, I should say, of today's race. So what a past couple of weeks has been for him. Gets the win at Kentucky. That locked him into the chase for the championship. And now, unofficially, when he crosses the line, Colby Jackson will be the points leader in the chase standings for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship. But for now, as we see him coming down to cross the line, we'll take a look at a replay. We'll come back and get you your tally of your stage points from tonight's race here for the completion of stage number 1. This one's going to start with the 42 of Nicholas Romero. And he's actually going to make some contact with a couple of chasers. That's James Qualls in the 27, Jordan Lopez in the 51. So Elijah Gilbert, not the only chaser encountering problems tonight. Some contact there for Noah Ponser. Michael Haas gets into the 42. Getting word there could have been another third chaser involved in just a moment. There he is right there. Yeah, the 20 of Christian Merrick Jr. gets into the 42. So 3 chasers right there involved. And up until this point, chasers have done a good job not getting involved in any incidents. But Qualls, Lopez, and Christian Merrick Jr. now all with damage on their cars, getting involved in this, our second caution of the evening. Or make that third caution of the evening, I should say. And we'll have to see if any of them are going to be able to continue. They're going to obviously want to try and stay out, salvage what they can, because every point could count into getting you into that Elite 8 once the checkered flag waves at not Indianapolis. Is it Indianapolis? Race number 3? Yeah, at Indianapolis. So we'll see what the end result is as we go back now for the green flag. So nobody out of the race after that incident. I believe the only chaser that came to pit road to get damage repaired was Christian Merrick Jr. in the 20, but he has returned back to the racetrack, still on the lead lap. Unscheduled stop for the 46 of PJ Williams, and he now finds himself off the lead lap. As we get ready to go back green, you've already seen your stage points. Winning the first stage, Colby Jackson, and they'll lead us back to green over Nicholas Romero. Ace Garcia lines up in 3rd. 4th for Jonathan Zorlin, John Gilbert in 5th, and it's Eli Bright, Charlie Buxton, Matt McIntyre, James Shelley, and Chris Dollerton. 5 chasers restarting in the top 10. 1st, 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 9th. Next highest running chaser, Jesse Turner, who is restarting in the 12th position. James Qualls, Jordan Lopez, Christian Merrick Jr. all starting at the tail end of the field, obviously due to being involved in that caution. Green flag back out. We've not even reached the halfway point and already been under the yellow flag for 3 times this evening. Only 1 chase driver of the 12 coming in out of the race, that being Elijah Gilbert. Colby Jackson, only one of 2 RCR cars that have been to victory lane this season, the other one being Andra Baranskas. Baranskas, though, not in the chase. The only representative in the chase is out in front, showing the way, that number 33 of Colby Jackson, as he now has about a car length advantage between himself and Nicholas Romero. They're kind of wadded up from 3rd on back. Jonathan Zorlin right there, and there's a couple of more chasers that we really haven't talked about yet tonight. They're all set up in the top 5. Charlie Buxton in the 7, who just barely squeezed his way into the chase for the championship back in Kentucky. And Eli Bright right there as well in that 05 car, the Florida Lottery Chevrolet. Battle back there going on for the 6th position between Wade Brummer and Matt McIntyre. And now Charlie Buxton to the inside on Jonathan Zorlin, who I'm certain is looking for some revenge from Kentucky 2 weeks ago. It was looking like Jonathan Zorlin was en route to maybe winning that race. He and Colby Jackson were battling. Whoever won were more than likely going to be making it into the chase for the championship. But James Shelley wasn't really willing to help his teammate go to victory lane. As a result, Zorlin does not have a chase banner, and Colby Jackson does. It's really dropping back like a rock is Ace Garcia in the 9. There he is, way up on the high line. He's lost a spot to Chris Dollerton. Jacob Rose going by. Oh, car in the grass. That's Nicholas Romero in the 5. Are they going to let him come back up onto the racetrack? Oh, no, he's going to go up into Tony Green, but they saved it. He didn't hit him hard enough. He might have broadsided him. He kept it straight, and we are still green. Great save by Nicholas Romero. What a tough break for him, though. But he nearly took out the pole sitter Tony Green there in turn 3. How he didn't, I'm not exactly certain. So green flag racing still going on. Let's jump back up to the front again. Oh, whoa, slower car. PJ Williams, a lot of damage on the 46. Remember, he made that unscheduled pit stop under caution, but this is a lot more damage on the car than when he came to pit road originally. So tough break there for him. He's on pit road, but we are still under green flag conditions, and Colby Jackson has checked out over second place Charlie Buxton. About a second and a half, they said last time by, and now the battle is on for second place. Wade Brummer to the inside of Charlie Buxton for second place. And this will continue to allow that gap between themselves and the 33 of Colby Jackson to increase. Jordan Lopez. I'm sorry, that wasn't Jordan Lopez, that was Tony Green going 3 wide with Chris Dalton and Eli Bright. Daniel Voiles we saw come to pit road under the first caution. He's now worked his way up there. He's up currently scored in the 12th position. Of course, Voiles, a heartbreak at Kentucky. It was looking like he might be en route to getting into the chase for the championship, but a poor performance at Kentucky found him just barely down below Charlie Buxton in the point standings. So Buxton got the final spot into the chase, and Daniel Voiles was unable to get into the chase for the championship, so we nearly had another wreck right there between Matt McIntyre and Jacob Rose right in front of Voiles. We're able to dislodge bumpers, keep it going. We are still green. And that gap that I mentioned that Colby Jackson was enjoying, well, it's shrunk a little because he's encountered traffic. Alexander Rowe, he now gets by him. Next on his list is Joseph Romero in the 42. We have to see how the 0 of Wade Brummer does with the slower traffic. He gets pretty well by Alexander Rowe, and he will easily get by Joseph Romero as well. So now Colby Jackson may have some company for that race lead. Charlie Buxton up to third. How about Kyle Thomas from out of nowhere? That 48 car's got a lot of speed. He's going for the third position now, off of Charlie Buxton, as we saw Chris Dollerton using the apron, but the caution's out, so it doesn't matter. I didn't realize that was the pace car on the apron, and I did not see the lights out on the outside of the track flashing yellow, so we are under caution once again. It's the 4th time this evening that the yellow flag will wave. And again, it comes out very close to the completion of another stage. When we hit the line, it's 2 laps to go here in stage 2. So the question is, does Colby Jackson come to pit road, or does he stay out? He's already won the first stage, and he will stay out. Looks like everybody's staying out. Wow, first time this weekend that we have an incident that took place on the front straightaway. The smoke lingering from turn 4 all the way almost to the start-finish line, the entire first half of the front straightaway. So let's take a look and see what brought out this caution here tonight. And when we get back to green, I believe we'll have less than 10 laps to go. Race leaders were dealing with slower lap traffic, and this one's going to be Alexander Rowe that brings out this 4th caution. You see right here, John Gilbert gets a good run the high side. He's going to try and go around the 93 on the front straightaway, and I don't think Alexander Rowe realized that. He was trying to move up so Tony Green, Chris Dalton, and others would be able to get by him on the inside, realizing he wasn't up to speed, and he just kind of ran up the racetrack and didn't realize, I guess his spotter didn't tell him the 22 was there. So just some miscommunication, but fortunately it only involved theoretically 1 car, some damage maybe on that 22. But that's put us under the caution. We're going to wad them back up, try again for another restart. Green flag will come back out on lap 32 of 41, giving us exactly 10 laps to go here tonight at Chicagoland. Colby Jackson is one of only 2 chasers right now that are restarting up inside the top 10, the other one being Charlie Buxton, rolling off from 3rd place. Wade Brummer, the non-chaser, splitting up the 2. So right now, the win and you're in scenario only really applying at the moment to the 33 and the 7. Next highest restarting chaser, I believe, is Eli Bright. He restarted from the 11th spot. Colby Jackson trying to block that inside line because here comes Charlie Buxton, and Buxton's got Kyle Thomas there as well. Buxton might be able to make a move. Will he go to the inside? Yes, he will. Here comes Charlie Buxton to the bottom for the race lead. Buxton going to victory lane at the Springfield Mile, a dirt track. That win was what got him into the chase for the championship. This is not a dirt track by any means. This is also not Kentucky either, where Colby Jackson picked up his win to get into the chase. Top 5, top 6 have broken away. Jonathan Zorlin there. Look up here in this field, and the only 2 drivers that have been to victory lane this season already are the 2 drivers with the chase banners, Colby Jackson and Charlie Buxton. Wade Brummer in the 0, Kyle Thomas in the 48, Tony Green the 85, and Jonathan Zorlin in the 17, all looking for their first wins of the season in the Pizza Hut X Series, as is the drivers running 7th and 8th. Jacob Rose in 7th and Chris Dollerton in 8th. Matt McIntyre there in 9th as well. Hearing an idling engine up ahead, I'm thinking that's 46 of PJ Williams. It is. PJ Williams is right now a total of 7 laps down. He'll go an 8th lap down, and at 46 just trying to log laps, and the caution is out again. And Kyle Thomas is now the new 2nd place driver, with Wade Brummer, Tony Green up to 3rd and 4th. Buxton dropped from 3rd back to 5th on that last run, and another incident on the back straightaway heading into turn number 3. Now, we should get back green, but I think we're going to have only about maybe 3 laps to go, potentially 2 laps to go in this race, so it could be a very wild finish. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a look and see what brought out this yellow flag for what I think is the 6th time tonight. I've lost count. Regardless, it's our latest caution, and we're going to look at a replay of what brought it out. And this one's going to involve a couple of chasers who are running just around inside the top 23, wide off of turn 2. And you'll see right there is contact between the 39 of Jesse Turner and the 22 of John Gilbert. 39 hits the wall. He shoots down into Jordan Lopez. Lopez is going to go up. He's going to pound the outside wall pretty hard. Then get some contact there from the 5 of Nicholas Romero. That's going to send him around facing the wrong direction. Everybody takes evasive action, dives to the inside, and all are able to avoid the spinning Chevrolet. But a tough break there for Jordan Lopez and Jesse Turner both, losing a ton of track position and a ton of spots. Oh, and then some contact there from Christian Merrick Jr. in the 20s, so a 3rd chaser gets involved. I'm surprised that car didn't immediately start smoking, because that was some pretty heavy contact with the right front of his machine. So 3 drivers, Turner, Christian Merrick Jr., and Jordan Lopez, involved in this one. Some chasers are having a good night at Chicagoland, but a number of others are hoping to end this one and get to Dodge Motor Dome as soon as possible. When we restart, it will be with 3 laps to go. Colby Jackson has been out in front pretty much all night long. He's already won our first 2 stages of the evening, looking to go for the sweep, have himself a really nice cushion, and don't forget, a win puts him automatically into the Elite 8, regardless of what happens next week at Dodge Motor Dome or the following week at the elimination race at Indianapolis. Kyle Thomas right behind him, though, along with Wade Brummer, the pole sitter Tony Green there in 4th. They're all looking for their first win of the season, and they aren't battling for a championship, so you can bet they're going to race that 33 car extremely hard here in these final 3 laps. Nobody out of the race after our latest incidents. 9 laps down, PJ Williams, Alexander Roan, Joseph Romero also off the lead lap. You can see there Jordan Lopez continuing on, along with Christian Merrick Jr., Jesse Turner. They restart 26th, 27th, and 29th. So right now, based off of what I'm getting with my calculations, the elimination spots heading into next week will be held by Elijah Gilbert, Jordan Lopez, Christian Merrick Jr., and Jesse Turner, unless something drastic happens here in these final few laps. Wade Brummer wasting no time. He got by Kyle Thomas for 2nd, and now he's going to look for the race lead off of the Colby Jackson machine. Charlie Buxton right there in that 3rd spot, trying to get by Kyle Thomas. 2 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Wade Brummer looking for his first win of the season, and he's not going to care whether there's a red spoiler on that 33 or not. He wants to go to victory lane, does the 0. Side by side for the race lead. Brummer can't get the runoff of 2 like Colby Jackson did. He'll have to try and rewind that rubber band. Try again. White flag displayed this time. Caution is out. Race is over. Colby Jackson will win at Chicagoland. If they had just gotten back to the white flag, we might have had ourselves a battle for the win, but a timely yellow comes out. The white flag and the yellow flag display at the same time, and that means that Colby Jackson will pick up his second straight victory of the season here in the Pizza Hut X Series. He not only 2 weeks ago picked up his first win, which locked him into the chase for the championship, tonight he picks up his second win, which locks him into the Elite 8, the second round of the Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. Talk about a crazy couple of back-to-back weeks for this 33 team. We never really even talked about Colby Jackson in the same sentence as champion, and we're going to have to talk about him pretty much for this entire first third of the season. There's the checkered flag displayed. Colby Jackson wins. He sweeps all 3 stages. He gets the win. It's an automatic ticket into the Elite 8, and Colby Jackson now puts himself very much in the forefront as a potential candidate to be the Season 2 Pizza Hut X Series champion. And only 2 chase drivers even finished this race in the top 10. Charlie Buxton was the other one, finishing in the 5th spot. A couple of drivers were just outside the top 10, and we'll look at them now as we will go to our full official standings. Cole Deaver and Eli Bright, 11th and 12th for those chasers. Joshua Osborne brings it home 14th. Ace Garcia 15th. 16th for James Shelley. Justy Turner will finish in 17th place. Christian Merrick Jr. finished in 20th. Jordan Lopez out of the race. I guess he got involved in that last wreck that brought out our final caution. He finishes 24th. And you go further on down here, and that's where you see the rest of our chase drivers. James Qualls finishing a lap down. I guess he might have gotten involved in that wreck as well. He finishes 31st. And Elijah Gilbert was the only chaser to finish this race behind the wall, as he finishes with a DNF in 33rd position. So right now, the drivers that would be in the danger zone, currently in spots 9 through 12, with a chance of not moving on to the Elite 8 after our next 2 races, would be obviously Elijah Gilbert, James Qualls, as well as Jordan Lopez, and the final spot would actually be Christian Merrick Jr. in the 20. But that is going to do it here tonight from Chicagoland. What a very interesting start to the chase this is. Colby Jackson is locked into the Elite 8, regardless of what happens next week at Dodge Motor Dome and the following week at the elimination race at Indianapolis. So a great couple of weeks for Colby Jackson. And now we'll have to see who the other 7 drivers will be that will be with him in that Elite 8 in 2 weeks' time. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We've shown your full finish results. These are your point standings as well as your chase points heading into next week's event, which is going to be, as stated, at Dodge Motor Dome. It's basically Taylor Swift Superdome made over a little bit into the classic version of Dodge Motor Dome. Tomorrow night, though, we get our first race of the chase for the Hershey's Cup Series, so hope you will tune in for that. That is bound to be a wild one as well. 16 drivers battling to get into 12 slots, as that chase grid will be formatted as well. We'll see you guys next time, as you've been watching Production NNSCRA Offline Race at its best. Good night from Chicagoland.